Good day, Nigerians. Thank you for joining us on another edition of Daybreak Africa. Of course, yes, we are having another person on board this morning in person of Honorable Akin Akinbobola. Honorable Akin Akinbobola happened to be the former chairman of Ondo State Sports Agency, football agency. And of course, we will be talking on football today and a little of the national politics. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Honorable Akin Akinbobola on board. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, today, like I said the other time, we'll be talking about football generally. Honorable Akin Akinbobola, how will you assess football generally in Nigeria?
I am a bit worried that the development of football is not actually progressing. When you look at where we're coming from, and you juxtapose it with where we are now and where we ought to be, you know, putting us side by side with some countries that gained independence alongside when we gained independence, putting us alongside some countries that also are prominent in the area of, don't forget that football is a major sporting event in Nigeria.
Yes.
And we want to look at it from various ramifications, you know, the ramification of talent discovery and talent development, ramification of equipment, you know, provision of equipment. When we were young playing football at the grassroots level, we could afford to procure football boots, you know, play with boots, but these days to get a pair of boots for the young boys and girls is difficult. You know, China-made boots now is around 20,000, 25,000. You know, the original boots are close to 100,000. So you can imagine a young boy that wants to play football. Where does he get money to buy good boots to use, football playing boots? Facilities are also not there. Most of the facilities have been converted. Once upon a time in schools, secondary schools, there was playing pitches. Football and sports generally was part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
It's no longer like that. So it's a whole lot of factors that is making me, my heart bleed that we're not progressing. You know, we're not progressing the way we should. So, and when you look at it also, graduating to the level of our league, most of our players prefer to play even in leagues in Africa, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Sudan, Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Libya. They prefer to go to such countries to play football because they get better remunerations. Here in Nigeria, our league, there's a brain drain. There's a brain drain in our league. The players, the moment they achieve little performance level that is a bit above the way it is locally, the next thing is you see them outside Nigeria, you know. So generally speaking, I don't think we should be, it's not uhuru yet. It's not uhuru yet for our football. There's a whole lot of work to be done by the private sector, the public sector, and the individuals. Once upon a time, you had public sector getting involved in football, and the private sector too, Ministry of Works, Agri Credit, and let me come back to Ondo State, investment, airways, timber, Nirowi, Oluwa Glass, they're all gone. They're all gone. So is that are we improving? You know, so it's a pathetic situation.
Okay, let me quickly cut in. Like you've just said, you mentioned that you mentioned some industries and some organizations then sponsoring football, sponsoring sports generally. But now you said they are no more. Meaning that, of course, yes, the level of development in the country has also affected that of Ondo State.
It's a general thing. It's not only in Ondo State, it's everywhere. P&T, Vasco da Gama, NIPOST then, there was NIPOST in Ilorin, there was NEPA in Lagos, those are public sectors too, but they have football clubs. And in the private world, you had Leventis, Abiola Babes, and etc., etc. BCC Lions, cement people in Boko, NNPC Football Club, UNTL, United Nigerian Textile Industry.
Yes.
I once coached Zamfara Textile, in Zamfara in those days, and they're all gone. They're all gone. But for state governments, and we must thumbs up for a lot of state governments that keep, that has made football, having a football club, a responsibility of governance. I likely will have it to be a sorry sight. We have Sunshine Stars government, owned Shooting Stars government, etc., etc. Rangers, Plateau United, Rivers United, Eyimba, all these are government-owned clubs.
Yes.
And when government gets involved too much in running sports, it doesn't really encourage professionalism. A lot of political leanings come into it, appointments that are political, that don't have real, it's not based actually on merit, and influences here and there. It's all over the countries. So somehow we are not getting it right. We are not getting it right.
We are not getting it right. Of course, like you've just said also again, sir, that based on the development of football in Nigeria, some are saying that National Sports Commission should be brought back, that definitely will enhance our sporting activities in Nigeria. Do you support this development, that National Sports Commission should be brought back?
Absolutely. I support it absolutely. One, it becomes economical, instead of having to have a ministry funded and then a council or sports body being funded too. You can bring everything together under one body holistically and just have directors here and there. I support having sports commission at the federal level and even also at state levels.
Okay, good. Let's look at it this way again, sir. This issue of MPLF, if I may be correct, PLF, yes. How is Sunshine Football Club doing in this area? I think the season is fast coming around.
Yes. In the past few years, it has been tough.
Okay.
To talk frankly speaking, but I can tell you that with the appointment of a management committee under the leadership of the deputy governor of the local area, the management and administration is being redefined. Unfortunately, there's no enough cash like it was 2, 3, 4 years back. But even if you have all the cash in the world and you don't have good, proper, technically, methodically structured administration and management, your cash will not, you won't have good results. We are working hard to ensure that we build the Sunshine Stars that will bring back the glorious days, And we went for a tournament organized by the Office of the President in Abuja. We came back yesterday. We've been in Abuja for about 5 days. And we came second. Sunshine Stars came second. 4-team tournament. Kano Pillars, Lobby Stars, Aqua United, the league champions. Aqua United are the league champions. And of course, Sunshine Stars. And the clubs played against each other. All the clubs faced each other. So it was a game of points to determine the best team and the other, teams accordingly. So Caterpillars had 7 points. They beat us in the first match, which ordinarily they wouldn't have beaten us, but we fatigued being on the road from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m. in the night. And we were to play the next day against Caterpillars. It affected the boys. So we lost that first match. And the remaining 2 matches, Sunshine Stars won. You know, against Aqua United, they beat Aqua 2-1. They beat Lobby 1-0. So we came second, 6 points. And Aqua came third, and the Whipping Boys were Lobby Stars. They didn't have any point at all. So by and large, we're already building a team that can face challenges of the league in terms of, you know, grit for grit, ball for ball, and then we're hoping that by the grace of God, all things being equal, you know, God has the final say. Sunshine Stars that will compete in the Premier League this year will rank among the best four by the grace of the Almighty God. The days of struggling to get out of relegation, I think, is over.
It's over. But looking at some of your top players that are leaving the club for another place, will that not also affect the club?
Naturally, it's when you put a team together, it takes about 2 years or more for a team to gel properly.
Okay.
When you put a team together within a short time, they can't be like a team that's been together for 2 years, 3 years, you know. So losing players was a minus.
Okay.
We're starting from afresh. Okay. We're starting from scratch. We lost a lot of players in the last season that just finished in August. The league came to an end. The season came to an end August 5. We lost a lot of players. I think the remaining players in our team was just about 7 or 8 or thereabout. Every other person had gone, seeking greener pastures, you know, which is natural. We wish them well. So we're starting from afresh, and we're hoping that within the next 6 months, the boys will. We have a good team presently. I can tell you that, a crop of young players and a little mix of experience and I don't want to call them old players. I prefer to call them experienced players that have been in the league. And players from here and there, from the academies, from amateur clubs, and from the NNL professional sides, you know. So yes, it's a minus, but we have overcome that and we are pushing forward, and we are hopeful to be one of the best four in the country.
Yes, you call it a minor, but again, it's like some of these guys, they said sometimes the state government is owing them like 6 months, 7 months salaries or areas, what have you. And we want to believe that the coming ones now that you're talking about, that you are hailing, same thing will not play out.
Immediately the governor, and that was one of the best things he did for football by appointing a very powerful team. The Attorney General, what does he want? The Commissioner of Finance. You can imagine this thing, people of this caliber, you know, and the Deputy Governor. These are people that are already occupying very senior offices. So the little finance that is available, they can manage it well without having to think about sustenance for themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure you understand what I mean. So since they came on board and they got me engaged, I know that salaries are being paid regularly. Maybe right now as I speak, we have a delay, you know, and the delay is general, even in the civil service too. Salaries has always been regular, but you will notice that even now, civil servants have not collected their salaries, and the governor has assured them that there's the likelihood that they're going to collect 2 months, you know, and I guess the same thing will apply to all MDAs, you know, because government is working, from what I hear. I'm not in the administration. Okay. I hear, you know, that they're expecting some money, and such money will be added to the money on ground to ensure that this thing go around for everybody to smile for the Christmas. So I hope that once we're able to overcome the little delay that we have now, we'll go on autopilot.
All right. Let's shift a little now. Let's come to politics proper. Of course, yes, let's look at it this way. The issue of subsidy removal. How do you think this will go in the minds of the common man on the street? Are you of the opinion that it should be removed, or federal government should reconsider?
There's a lot of hardship in the country now, presently. There's so much hardship. And this is my personal opinion.
Yes.
You know, removing subsidy now will generate more hardship because cost of transportation, fuel will go high, and once the cost of fuel go high, it spirals. You have a spiral effect in other areas. Transportation of food items, etc., transportation of human beings and livestock will become more expensive, and the effect also will be on the sales. They will have to recoup their money back, the traders. So generally speaking, life is so tough for the common man on the street now. Removal of fuel subsidy may not be too palatable at this critical point in time. So I want to suggest to government to look at how to manage this fuel thing in such a way that the cost of fuel does not go higher than it is presently. And also look at if there are ways of leakages in the fuel administration and finances, try to plug those leakages by other means. But I don't want to subscribe to removal of fuel subsidy in order not to aggravate more hardship on the people.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Dear viewers, of course, we've been talking with Honorable Aki Bobola, a sportsman and a politician, and at the same time, is also a comrade. So, and he has been able to give us some hints on the development of sports in Nigeria. Honorable Aki Bobola, what would you say concerning the return of Igalo and Victor Moses back to the national team?
Well, for me, football, modern football is intensive in the game. It has power and energy. It's when you watch teams that excel very well, you observe them technically that there's intensity in their game, and there's a lot of vigor and energy, in their game. And it gets to a point in life when the energy you can unleash starts to dwindle. I think we should be bringing in the young ones. Look at Osimhen. Put Osimhen side by side.
Yeah.
You see that Osimhen plays with vigor. Plays with, when he's playing football, you see drive, you see electricity in him. Because he's still young. So, and that's the kind of team that we need to put in place. Pick the young ones. We may not start winning immediately, but give them like 2-3 years. A lot of countries are reorganizing. Let me think of one. Okay, look at Barcelona as a team.
Okay.
Look at Germany too. Germany at a point dropped.
Yes.
Now they're picking back again.
Yes.
Because they were able to identify the very young ones, talented young ones. And they gave them a span of 2 years. And the boys are gradually maturing back into the game. I think what Nigeria ought to do is identify the young ones. Try to see how we qualify for competitions. But for the next 2 years, forget about winning laurels, but just qualify, And after 2 years, start thinking about winning laurels. But when you start bringing back what I would call recycling, when Igalo was there, when Victor Moses was there, what was the achievement? There wasn't much achievement.
That's true.
So it's not like you're bringing them back because they did certain things when they were there that we need those things to come back. No, there was no miracle that they performed. So for me, that's my opinion. I think we should allow the young ones to blossom, flourish and grow, and then just set a mark for ourselves, time mark. That within 2 years, this is where we want to be. If you start bringing Igalo back, it means we are going back.
So what you are saying is that Igalo should still be set aside and allow the young ones to come into the team.
Igalo said he has retired. So for me, I think he should just stay in retirement and let's look at young ones. Look into the Nigerian league, look at young boys, give them the opportunity to express themselves, bring in a good coach.
Yeah.
That is very important, that is key. Bring in a technically sound coach,
Okay.
young and energetic, a coach that can show some techniques and be part of the physical development of the game. When you bring in a 70-year-old person to come and manage young boys, it can't work. It can't work. Yes, a 70-year-old person can manage very experienced players, Messi, Ronaldo, those kind of players, experience, they've got into the pinnacle of their career. You can now bring in an elderly coach to manage them because he doesn't have to start teaching them. But if it's at the level of teaching, in coaching, you need a young coach that can be part of it. And I think that's where Nigeria missed it. But I heard, and I think it's confirmed because I've made 1 or 2 calls, that Raw has been dropped.
Yes.
We have one interim coach. I just pray that by the time they want to stabilize the coaching crew, they come up with young, energetic, highly intelligent coaches that can help the boys to grow within a short time.
Okay. Then, sorry, just before we call it a day, how are we going to marry this kind of semantics that we need a technical advisor and at the same time a coach? Are they not same thing? Technical advisor and a coach. What advice is the technical man given to a coach, or do you see it to be that very normal?
It depends on where you're looking at it from, which angle you're looking at it from. It's all about coaching. It's like when you say a tailor and you say a fashion designer. Or a barber and what do you call it? Makeup artist.
Makeup artist, okay.
It's just the same thing. A technical advisor is a coach who sits down with other coaches to work very hard at developing and molding a team that can win in tournaments and competitions. But it's a game of semantics, like you said earlier on. If you call him a coach, for instance, let me give you an example. Some clubs in Nigeria now have technical advisors. Sunshine Stars does not have a technical advisor. We have a head coach.
Okay.
It's not even chief coach, head.
Okay.
That's our own way of defining it. So he knows it's about, because for us, it's not about folding your legs or crossing your arms. It's about being part of, like I said, you have to teach, you have to be part of it. Okay. And we have a young coach who is almost like a teacher, and the results are beginning to show. So if he's going to be a teacher, you don't call him technical advisor, because he's not advising anybody, he's going to teach.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the reason why they use that semantics of technical advisors is because they bring in expatriates. Okay. So they now use Nigerians as coach, assistant coach, and so on and so forth. Okay. The technical advisor is to bring in expatriate approach. All right. For me, I don't think we need expatriate approach. I think we need a coach, even if it's coming from abroad or whatever. I don't mind wherever a coach comes from, local, international, for as long as he delivers, and he has to know that he's coming here to work, not on vacation. Most of the time we bring in foreign coaches, they don't stay here in Nigeria. They come, they play, they go, stay abroad. I don't believe in such. He has to come and stay here and work here and identify local talents too that can form the fulcrum of the Super Eagles. Then you bring in very, very qualified and talented players from outside to strengthen. There are a lot of players that have been brought in from outside that can play better than those in our league. Yeah. And then you don't bring in players from outside and put them on the bench to be warming the bench. You consider ticket money, consider the allowances you put them. You have to put them in very 5-star hotels because you are bringing them from a climate where their lifestyle is. But whereas if you can develop a home-based team like Westerhoff did, and then you strengthen with about 10 from outside, I think that should be our focus moving forward, so that we have a team that stays together for long. There will be more understanding than a team that you bring together in about 2-3 days and you play against Egypt, you play against South Africa, play against Cameroon, and this Egypt that you're playing against have most of the players in Egypt. Morocco has most of the players in Morocco. Yes. South Africa same. Yes. A lot of these countries have their players, so they understand each other a little bit more than you bring from Germany, Denmark, Russia, Spain, and so on, and just 2 days for them to train and you expose them into a high-powered competition. It hasn't really paid us off, and I think we need to go back to the drawing board and re-strategize and come up with something that has worked for us before. In the days of Westerhoff, the team was home-based, but he brought in professionals, quality professionals, not, maybe to use the word Jeko professionals, to come and strengthen the Super Eagles. No, it doesn't work that way. A lot of them come, they stay on the bench. After 3 days, they collect allowances, they go back to Europe. And when they come from Europe, the zeal to want to perform, oftentimes it's not there. They don't want to get injured because they believe that they want to go back to their clubs. So why don't we use the boys that have zeal, want to express themselves, want to expose, and then you strengthen with those that are have the qualities that these young ones at home can even learn from, and these young ones at home can look up to them as idols, as symbols of our national faith and our national vigor. Because Nigeria have this resilience of the can-do spirit in Nigeria. You identify those abroad that have this vigor, this Nigerian mentality of we must achieve, no minding whatever obstacles, we must surmount it. Don't bring us people that will play like big men. So they play like they are, as if they are being begged to play.
As if they are being begged to play.
I don't like that at all.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Of course, dear viewers, it's been nice and wonderful having a chat with Honorable Akin Bobola. Sir, we want to believe that when next we call on you, definitely you will answer us. For you, I'm always there. All right, thank you so much. So, dear viewers, this is where we shall be drawing today's curtain of Daybreak Africa. Definitely tomorrow is going to be another day. And like I always say, that Nigeria, it shall be well with you. And it shall be well with all of us. Amen. Thank you. See you. Take care.